Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go. Here we go. Set. Ready. Touchdown, defense.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr., and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run. Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three down.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen going for the deep ball. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Check. Watch 54. Let's get the ball.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, let's go.
Here's Rosen. That'll be complete to Cook. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
In your face.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Daniels has it left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the slant. No. Off. Easy.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That's caught by Hollister. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A give to Cook out of the gun. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Cook running right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And this one complete to Smith. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. To throw is Rodgers. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, Rosen. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they're going to go with a jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is good. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now arguably the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Packers take over first and 10.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Rodgers now on first down. And Daniels has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Rodgers to throw on third down. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at their own 44. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on second and 10. Rosen going up top. He's got it at the 15. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now it's Rosen. He's got Smith here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Throwing again on second down. Rosen, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Recon, 132 fighter. Right there.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as well. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Kill, kill, kill. Here we go. Look at this.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Rodgers now on first down. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. He was looking for Daniels that time. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Rosen. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 24, Rosen. Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go, let's bring it.
This is Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
50. Hey, you block over here.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
So don't say nothing.
Now Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Malik Collins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
What we got?
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he finds Daniels. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On 1st down, Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Rodgers running the option right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Makes it 3rd and
319.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Rodgers. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
We ain't beginning to turn you up.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again.
Middle. 49, check 49, check 49.
Now Rosen back into his end zone. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Preston Smith there on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Cook, and no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let him know, let him know.
On the carry, it's Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
That's to his running back, complete.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. 12 yards on the return that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. It's Daniels. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. He was looking for Daniels that time. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Check, Mike 42. Man, I got you.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And they will take a knee here.